There we go. Sorry about that. I don't know what was just happening, but it started streaming like 2 minutes ago, and it wasn't showing up. That was really weird. All right, now we got some people in here. Finally, I was starting to worry. Sorry about that. Happy 4th, everyone. I hope you're doing great. Live stream that's not it anymore. Let's go to the proper live stream this time. Sorry about all this. Yeah, I never get this right. It just never works for me properly. Radiance. I'll get this together eventually. Content. Where are my live streams? There we are. Sorry, I got to make some customizable things here. Live chat. This is for subscribers only. Slow mode. So I have to do these different things for it, so we don't get a bunch of yahoos leaving all kinds of junk in here. There we go. All right. I think we're in business now. All right. Boom. Thank you for complete indifference. Well, thank you, Tim. Why, thanks, David. I wonder if this lets me pop you guys up on the chat. Oh, here we go. There we go. Happy 4th, everyone. That's how you do it. All right. Thank you very much. Okay, let's catch up. So sorry about that, guys. So in the world of streaming, I'm not the most tech savvy person when it comes to this stuff. Now, if you're talking audio, I know my way around it. But sometimes when I'm videotaping and I'm getting the streaming going, it's never easy for me. I don't know what the deal is. So I've tried different softwares. The last one we were using worked for a long time, Restream, but they haven't done anything to update it. And it's sort of it started glitching. Like you'd hear my voice would be all really quick on it, and I had to quit using it. So I started doing Riverside, and I did it the way it's supposed to be done, but they just didn't do it. It didn't do it right. At least I thought I did. Who knows? What's going on, Denzel? Good to see you, buddy. 4th of July from Cleveland, Ohio. Go Browns. So against brisket. Oh, we're not doing brisket this year. Where are we going today? We're going where we want. Let me get something out here that I typed up. All right. So I don't know if you guys watch my On This Day, but I did a pretty in-depth one on 4th of July and why it matters. So if you get a chance, go over and check that out. Happy 4th. Hello from New Mexico. Oz Fly Girl, how are ya? Well, Otter, thank you for watching them for me. If you could be an insect, what insect would that be? I don't know my insects well, but I'd probably be a dragonfly because it can hover. Just check things out. I wouldn't want to be on the ground. If I was going to be anything else but a human, I'd make sure I could just fly around. So it'd be dragonfly because it's the only, one of two creatures, insects, animals on the earth that could fly forward and backward. And that and hummingbird. Dragonfly. Oh, did I miss one? All right, we got to get to the bottom of this. Oh, there we go. I'm sorry. Boom. Red 7 Box, thank you very much for supporting the channel. There you go. back of your mic. Oh, actually, I got these new mic covers, David, that let me put things out there. Okay, I got to make sure. Happy 4th. Ladybugs can fly 100, or no, not 100, but 35 miles an hour. That's insane. I didn't know that one. Where are we? I think we're going good here. All right. Let's see if I can get this over to this so I can see it better. So one other thing I want to talk about before we get too into things is there's this new thing on YouTube. There's always some kind of scam. Let me just get that down there. There's always some kind of scam on there. And I kind of brought it up before. But if you happen to see anyone that's like saying something about crypto, they always have this long story. You know, before today, I wasn't making much money and I thought I was going to die in retirement, but I made over 30 grand last month. And then the next comment is like someone going, I've worked with Dr. such and such, always some doctor or professor such and such, and they helped me get into crypto and this and that and that. You know, they just go on and on. So my suggestion to you is you could block words on your channel if you're starting your own channel. Make sure crypto is one of them. That's always seems to be the case. All right, I gotta get back in the swing of things, figure out what we're doing here. Hello, good to see you. Always love your channel. Greetings from salutations from Thousand Oaks, California. Oh yes, Thousand Oaks. I played football there one time when I was in high school. We had to haul our cookies all the way up to Thousand Oaks. Well, thanks, Uncle J27. I'm sorry, guys. I was missing a lot of these chat things, so I'm looking at them right now. Montana Bailey, how are you? My niece is named Bailey. We had grown up, we always called her Bailey Bear. And then I worked with a girl named Bailey. And I think by mistake, I called her Bailey Bear like 4 different times. And I finally had to tell her, so, oh, that's fine. Ooh, nice nap. Good, Joe. Naps are, I don't take naps normally, but when I get on a cruise, I take a nap almost every single day. Go Cubs, just kidding. Ah. Wah, wah. Well, they're better than like I told someone the other day, they're all, I have no respect for you because you're a White Sox fan. I'm all, you should feel sorry for me because I'm a White Sox fan. They are horrible. Green's channel, Green in Northern Virginia. Glenn, how are things in Northern Virginia? I'm doing a video on, I ran one of those polls and I asked people, what city would you move to this year if you're going to move? And 2 of the ones in Northern Virginia got the nod. Any more festivities in Honesdale, Pennsylvania coming soon? Haven't been there. Haven't been to one yet, but really want to go back. I went there one time briefly a year ago. Yeah, I love Honesdale. I don't know what they got going on this year, but every August they have this blues festival there in their Central Park in front of their city hall. It's really nice. Oh, my wife gets the seasickness too. She gets those little things behind her ear and usually works out. Unless it gets terribly bad, which we've been in a couple where it was pretty rough. She usually has those patches and she's fine. How many people got in here? 135 people. You know, in the past, I think the highest we've ever got was about 350 people on our live streams. And it gets a little hard to manage because I talk to you guys in the chat. I'm not just, I like watch Markiplier the other day. He had a live stream going and I think he had like 4,000 people in the chat. There's no way he could answer hardly anyone. So he was just rambling on about whatever he was talking about and he couldn't look at the chat at all. There's just far too many people. But that in mind, like I always say on this channel, if I missed your comment, I'm sorry. I try and get as many as I can, but there's a lot going on right now. Got 140 in here. I do this by myself, so hope you understand. Thank you. I did, David. Still own it. It's right outside in a place called Bethany, which is just the rural area right outside of Honesdale. Yeah, that's what she gets. Those scaffold, whatever they are. I only know that because it comes in a package. The doctor sends them to us, and that's what it says on the package. I don't even know how to pronounce it properly. Go, Brett. Hey, Brett, how you doing, buddy? Cape Cod. I was in Cape Cod for one day years ago, and I thought it was great. Yeah, Navy can be rough if you get seasick. Oh, yeah, hit that like button, guys. What do we got right now? Is it still not nearly enough? Boom. I can even leave chat things in here. Look at that, little hearts. Can you guys do that too on the side? Do you have a little emoji thing? Or is that just me? Can you guys see those? Yeah, you got to be able to see those. Happy 4th. Happy 4th. Okay, let me see. You just steal videos and stats from the internet and never go to a video of these places. So I will unsubscribe better channels that visit places for real and review them personal. AKA, sweet. You head on over to Nick. He's got some good stuff going on there. So you go enjoy that. And I mean, I don't know about stealing videos. I use a lot of my own video and I also pay for it. So it's really not stealing now, is it? But I'm glad you got your negativity out. I hope you feel better and maybe your day will pick up. Especially if you go over and watch Nick, see how he's doing. Yeah, I'm enjoying the retirement videos too. Those do really good on this channel. It's like most of my subscribers, I think almost 70% is over 40. So you're either getting ready to retire, you're thinking about your future retirement, you know. So, but a lot of 17-year-olds aren't really thinking about retirement, you know. So, luckily, that's only makes up like 1% of my subscriber base. So, yeah. Yeah, I love it when people tell me that. Well, I'm unsubscribing. Okay. You know, every YouTube channel out there loses, you know, at least 10. If you're a big enough channel, I'll probably lose 10 subscribers a day. But at the same time, I also gain about 400. So if you go back and look over the time of my 1.3 million, I think I've lost close to 75,000 subscribers. That was probably 2 years ago. I looked, probably more than that by now. But that's how it is, you know. People just don't like what you're doing eventually, or they just move on to other channels, or their channel gets deleted, which happens more often than not. If you don't know, if you're not on your channel in like 4 years at all, they just kind of shut it off. They have these sweeps. They call them purges. And then, so you lose a lot of people that way. But people always, I'm going to subscribe if you do this again. Subscribe. I got 1.3 million subscribers, where I'd like to keep them all, but I know it's not reasonable. If you think you're going to see a better channel, or you've got other interests, I encourage you to go there. I will be fine. Oh, Bullhead City. I bet that is rough. Boston. Apparently. So I have done one on climate change spots to live, and I should do another one because the anti-climate change deniers or whatever you want to call them, they just freak out and they leave all kinds of comments. And as you know, comments really drive a video's growth. Now, what I always tell them, which I think most understand, climate change is real. That's proven. Everybody knows it. No one's denying climate change. We had the ice age. That was climate change. It's gotten hotter in some places. It's got, I mean, they find seashells in Kansas, buried, fossilized seashells, because one time the planet got so hot, all the water came up. It goes in like million-year cycles. I don't know the exact number, but a couple, I don't know, 400,000 years, Florida might be gone entirely. Well, that's just going to happen. The only thing that is up for argument, which even myself, who kind of believes in a lot of the environmental stuff, is, are humans affecting it this time? Are we making it worse? That is the only thing that's debatable at this point. Everyone knows climate change happens. No one can deny it. It's like John Oliver said, that's like arguing, are owls real? But yeah, don't want to get off on that one. A video on trauma of moving. It is horrible, isn't it? I've always done moving by myself, or I've hired someone. I've almost never asked a friend to do it, because once you ask one friend, then they help you. Aloha from Hawaii. Hello, Michelle. I used to live in Aloha, Oregon, which is spelt like aloha. And when I see the word aloha, I always want to say aloha. Any similarities between Portland and Oakland? No, just they both got a bunch of homeless. I haven't looked up Sacramento in a while, but when I was there in 2020, spent 2 days there, freaking everywhere. I even talked to the mayor of homelessness. Yeah, these people said he was the mayor, kind of ran things for the homeless. I was like, okay, and I'm expecting a guy in a suit. No, it was another homeless dude. Okay. I got to look at this one occasionally, because the way we're doing things today, I can't see if anyone leaves a donation thing. So I got to look at this occasionally. All right. I've always wanted to do a one of those videos that just goes all the time. Just a 24-hour live stream, and people will do it with like rain music and all this. And then I've seen some people do it with animals. Like one guy has one going for his hummingbird feeder and all that. But I have a lizard. I have a leopard gecko. I'm thinking about tricking out his little habitat and just put a live stream on it 24 hours a day. This chair is bugging the hell out of me. There we go. Oh. Sitting on my keys. Well, see, that I agree with. Climate change is not created by us. Where'd that one go? I was going to put it up there. Yeah. Climate change is not created by us. Is it making it worse? Maybe. Climate change has been around long before humans were. I forget the exact number, but I believe we know of like 7 7. No, I think that's too many. Maybe we know of 4 ice ages. Methane sinkholes in Alaska. Those can get ugly. It is uncomfortable. How many of you guys, before we get into the trivia, which this is supposed to be all about, we do an update video on best cities live in the East Coast, wanting to relocate. There's a couple that I've got coming up, and I think that's one of them. Oh, now I lost my... Oh, so... just gonna tell you something. Now I lost my train of thought. Hate it when I do that. Oh, how'd you guys like the Portland video, by the way? That was a little different. It was a slow grower. It was a grower, not a shower. In the very first 2 days, it didn't do horrible. Then it jumped up. So that video is doing a lot better. Yeah, you know, it may be industrialization, but just humans in general. I mean, there's more, not just humans, creatures on the earth. And I know there's all the studies about methane and, you know, the amount of waste we create just naturally through our bodies. And then you start counting all the stuff we're putting in the air. I'm sure it plays a little part, but I'm sure it plays some part. I just don't know how much. I think it's pretty much obvious it's got to play some part. You know, is it just a little and it's not going to make a difference? Or is it actually just screwing up the planet? That could be discussed all day long. Okay. Here's my first interesting fact about 4th of July. Do you guys know where the first national 4th of July festival was? Come on, put it in the chat. Okay. Let me find that guy's chat. That's the question. Okay, let me see here. Violet Bassett, thank you for supporting the channel. I want to make sure I didn't miss any. Really appreciate it. Then I got one other one, and I will... Inferno Health and Fitness. Hey, dude, I have a long question. Look at the chat. Okay, let's see if I can find that one. Puerto Rico. Let me answer this question. Boom, 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 boom. Nope. The actual first one was celebrated at the White House in 1801. So they did it on the White House grounds with a whole festival, fireworks, and picnics. Thought that was really interesting. All right, I got to find that question. And the chat is moving too quick. So Inferno Health and Fitness, would you copy and paste that into the chat again for me, please? I'll be looking for it. I am not related to Don Rickles. I wish I was. He was a comedy genius and actually kind of a hero of mine. There you go. Oh, there you go. Hey, dude, I love you. Oh, there you go. I'm a Canadian, but my partner is a dual citizen, and we are hoping to move to the U.S. in 4 to 5 years, looking for nursing opportunities. We got plenty of opportunities for that. My daughter, she's a nurse, and she's working here in Beaverton, but she knows she can go anywhere, probably get $5,000 to $10,000 signing bonus and just start working any place in the country. I mean, that isn't like out in the middle of the sticks where they probably need you but can't afford you. But yeah, that's a good move, especially in healthcare. I don't know how it is up there for nurses as far as job opportunities go in Canada, but down here it is a target-rich environment, as we used to call it in the military. I always thought that was when you stop and you think about what they're telling you. You know, when your sergeant goes, oh, there's a target-rich environment right there, you see people coming across a field. So really, he's saying, oh, look, there's a whole bunch of people you could kill. As an example, D-Day for the Germans was exactly that. It's funny you start saying things target rich environment. And then you think about it years later and you're like, hey, that wasn't cool. One of your favorite outskirts, Fresno. Outskirts of Fresno. One of my favorite, huh? George Carlin was amazing. Yeah, see, George is begging for nurses. Traveling nurse. I had a friend, she was a travel nurse, and she's only about 4'11". And I'm all, are you a travel nurse? Because you come in a smaller size, like those old shampoos. She's all, shut up, you're an idiot. Boom, 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 boom. All right. Make sure we didn't miss any other chats. There's a celebration for the things I got. All right. All right. 185 people in here. How many likes do we have now? Let's see. We're up to 128. Hit that like button, everyone. I'll be your best friend. Yeah, it's we have a lot of them, and it's they never leave you. You're just stuck with them. Casper, thanks for hanging out, man. Boom, boom, boom. Angie Madcat, so it gives you this little crown thing, and I think that's it. I'm not sure what that is. Welcome back, Casual Bell. How are you, Bell? Nice to have you back. So I have if you could join the thing, it's instead of hitting subscribe, you hit the join, and then it takes like $2 till I think my highest is $9.99 a month. There is this girl that has a member thing, and she runs one member only stream a week. And I looked at her thing just to be curious, because I'm always curious about other creators. She has one that's like $499 a month to join her thing and watch these membership things. And apparently she has like 10 people giving her that. That's crazy. But she runs these whole things where she'll live stream for like 5 hours when she does it. And she's a lawyer and she talks about stuff like that, so it makes sense. Boom, boom, boom. I agree. Travel nurses make big money. Yes, can. I'm special. Yeah, I think that's what they are. I just started noticing them recently, because I always go through the software and you only see them when you're looking at it from the YouTube, and it doesn't show me on the different softwares I've used. And I don't know how long they've been there, but 3 Angie's number 3 apparently. Singing Wind Rider. There we go. That's number 1. Who's number 2 today? 1 and 3. Number 2's on there. Angie Madcat was number 2. She moved down to number 3. I guess it's some kind of game. I do want to go down and see the last Blockbuster. I've been telling myself I'm going to go down there, but I haven't been down there like 2 years, so it's going to happen eventually. But yeah, that's just an amazing thing. Because I worked at Netflix, I read the book about how Netflix just killed off Blockbuster. It was really interesting. And the interesting thing, what's really interesting about it is Reed Hastings, the founder and CEO of Netflix, at one point when they were just starting it out, they tried to sell the service to Blockbuster. And Blockbuster told them, no, we don't want your service, we'll start our own. And they did, and it failed miserably. You know what their biggest failure was? It was they couldn't let go of those late fees. So the thing that was driving Netflix's traffic and their subscribers and their business basically was the promise of no late fees. And the franchisees for Blockbuster, they just couldn't let that money go. That money was too good. So it ended up killing the business. Yeah, it is. Singing that is kind of cool. I mean, I'm glad there's people out there that appreciate her that much. She's a nice girl. Um, but I don't know if I want anyone to, I don't want to say who she is because I don't want to rat out her money. But she has a good live stream. I miss Blockbuster. It was fun to visit down there, and I hated those late fees. They were the worst. Tuck and crochet. Legalize. So here's the thing, Otter, with that. I could, but YouTube would probably demonetize the video. Okay. So that kind of sucks. I did one before. I've done a couple videos where I just kind of mentioned it. I didn't really get too into it. And I discussed conspiracy, the conspiracy of why it became illegal back in the 1950s. And it was a whole conspiracy video. That was one small part. But since that part was in there, that video's never made a dime. When would I swear I thought I saw you a few times. I said, Briggs. Who's this Briggs? He just looks like you. How funny. Yeah, I don't know when I'm going to New York again. Fish and chips. Oh yeah. There's a couple places that are becoming few and far between. I thought we were going to lose all the Der Wiener Schnitzels out here on the West Coast, which if you never had a Der Wiener Schnitzel chili cheese dog, you're missing life. Your life is just a little sadder than everyone else's. But then I found out they're expanding into Oregon, because mostly they were in California only. We had one in Vancouver, Washington, and then it moved up by the Canadian border. But now I hear we're getting one or two by end of 2026 here in the Portland metro area. But yeah, Otter, that's thank you for understanding that. But yeah, it's a great subject and it will drive views. It just doesn't make any money. What if you made a channel for adults only? Yeah, they already make those. It's called OnlyFans. You can make one for adults only on here. Like on all my videos, I say that they're not recommended for children, which they aren't. Sometimes I make jokes that are a little risque. And you know, it's they still do what they're going to do. Hamburgers and oh God. Sometimes I was raised, my parents owned a hamburger restaurant that really made its money through its breakfast, but it started off as a hamburger restaurant back in the 1950s when my grandmother owned it. So I'm a connoisseur of fine hamburgers, but I don't like those ones when you go to a really nice restaurant and they sell you a hamburger and it's just like, did it need this special bun that, you know, that's all glossy? And did we really need arugula instead of just lettuce? Well, that's good news. Battleground's nice. My sister lives right up by there. Corn Briggs, adult uncensored. Suitable for. Yeah, if they ever cancel my channel, or you know, demonetize me or something like that, they do have people on OnlyFans that are not showing nudity. A lot of people don't understand that. So, you know, I'd probably move over to something like that, or I'd move over to, what is that? There's a website where you could basically pay a membership to get their videos every month. Yeah, so it's really strange the way YouTube does things. What you can get demonetized for. Uh, there's a lot of things. They're getting ready to monetize a whole bunch of people right now. Um, I just read their thing, their new terms of service that start July 15th. And at first I was like, I hope it doesn't ruin my back catalog. But they were all, it says that they're going to get rid of channels that are using a template to make their videos and that are just basically automated ones. For shorts, I believe is what they're focusing on. But if you're just doing the same thing over and over, like one example I saw was this channel that does the top 5 of this. And all they do is they use the same template from probably some program and they just add new cities in there. No stats, no nothing. They just show a picture in the background and then this. Then the next one, the new one, picture. They're really weak. But they're going to kill a lot of those channels. And I think they're gearing up to do something about all the AI channels. I'm hearing a lot of grumbling. There you go. I'm gonna be heading out to Cleveland this year for a game. I'm not sure when. Probably I want to go in the cold, like November or something like that. Yeah, I think more and more people want to see AI gone. And there's some people that think it's wonderful, and usually I come to find out that they've got channels like that. So they're. I did a video on doing it with Briggs about how AI is ruining a lot of the platforms. Just these AI, they call them AI slop videos. And that video did really well. But I got a bunch of people going, there's nothing wrong with it. Da, 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 da. It's just, because you're old. Okay, well, I saw a 20-year-old guy talking about it the other day. Is he too old too? Uh, but I think we're getting to a point where they're going to do something about it. I do know, I think it's TikTok. When you upload a video, you have to click, is this AI generated? Yes or no? And I think they've got people on there that I think there's a way that they know if you don't like AI content, so they won't show it to you. I hope that's what's going on. I don't know their whole their whole backstory that is, but I did see a thing on there where you could put, is this AI or not? Spotify was pushing an AI band, the Velvet. Actually, oh, that's too bad. Happy birthday, America. Yeah, they're just always the same thing. AI channels. I got an axe to grind about them. I don't like them. They don't rip me off as much as they used to. I don't know if it's because I got a reputation for giving them strikes or taking down their stuff, but like I don't know, if this is your first time here, you might not have heard this before, but I copyright all my jokes and all my scripts. So if you've just used an AI voice to re-record my script, you're gonna get nailed for it. And I got a couple people. They straight up just ripped off my whole script. It is exactly what I said, just AI voice. They thought it was okay. And then they're all shocked when I give them a takedown notice. Happy 4th. That's hysterical. I know what they're doing when they have the same joke over and over. They've just wrote a basic script asking them ChatGPT to make them a script on a subject, and it just used the same joke over and over, and either they're in another country or they're just not proofreading it before they give it to the AI voice. So you end up getting the same joke 5 different times in a video. The best coastal town in Oregon? That's a very good question. It depends on what you like. A lot of people say Rockaway Beach to live or the Tillamook area. They've got a couple beaches out there. Myself, I love Cannon Beach. And then Manzanita is also pretty good. But if you go down to Brookings, in that area, which is the southern section, there's a lot of really good towns there. But my opinion, Cannon. You just got to be rich to live there. I did see that Major League Baseball might be coming to PDX. And I also heard the White Sox, if they didn't get a stadium, they were going to maybe Portland could scoop them up as, transfer team or whatever they call it. But then that got shelved because they got a new stadium deal. But then the stadium deal got canceled because the Chicago Fire, I guess it is, which their soccer team, they wanted that area for their stadium. So, yeah, who knows? I don't think I'm a White Sox fan, but I don't think they need to come to Oregon and that's just kind of sullies the brand. I think Portland needs their own team. AI will steal everyone's job. I mean, honestly, just if I wanted to use AI, I wouldn't need a researcher anymore. I wouldn't need an editor. Hell, I wouldn't even need myself to record anything anymore. That's another reason why you see me getting on the channel more, my face. I'm recording in this room now and no longer in my other office. So you see my face and you know it's not AI, which, I mean, I'm sure some people see my face and they're all, I thought this kid was 20. Which I get that a lot. This is the first time I saw your face. I thought you're like a 20-year-old kid. I was once a 20-year-old kid. All right, let's get another trivia question. Here we go. Who designed the American flag? And don't Google it and put it in here. If you know, you know. Put it in the comment section. Do you know? I wonder if I should move this over a little bit. I got everything on this. Anyway, normally I have it right there. So that's why I'm looking over here tonight instead of right at you most of the time. Nope. It was not Betsy Ross. She did not design it. She sewed it together. The actual guy who made it was Francis Hopkins. He designed the American flag, or more specifically, he claimed he did. But that claim has not officially been verified with any evidence, but it was kind of known back then he was the designer of it. Betsy Ross sewed it together. I thought that was interesting because I thought the same thing. Betsy Ross designed it. Nope. It was already laid out and she was told how to do it, what they wanted. And it was always going to be the 13 stripes for the original 13 colonies. And they really weren't sure what they were going to do with the star section. They just put some stars and a couple things in there. And I think it was for all the territories that they are colonies they had at the time when they made it. But then they made it so they can add them on as time went on. Now, here's another interesting thing. If we add a state, that star being added to the flag happens on that year or the next year, whenever the next 4th of July comes up, always on the 4th of July. The last one we did was Hawaii, and when they joined 59. So it was 1960, 4th of July was the last time we put a star on our flag. Martha Stewart. Well, thanks, Brett. I was born in 1992. Here we go. Denzel. I was born in 1992, and I didn't like using chicken unless I've been in a hurry. In Honesdale, my favorite small town. Thank you. Charleston, North Carolina might be my number one. Yeah, I like Charleston. I like both Charlestons, actually. All three of them. There's three that I know of. But Charleston, West Virginia is nothing like the rest of that state. You're right. Francis Scott Key did write the Star Spangled Banner. Someone argued with me that they invented fireworks after he wrote the Star Spangled Banner to symbolize the rockets he was talking about because he was watching a battle. The Chinese had fireworks for like 1,000 years before we started using them. I don't know if it was 1,000, but it was hundreds and hundreds of years. What current unknown city will be a great place to live in 10 years? So we're in the middle of a swing phase. So we're talking from about 1940 to just recently, everyone moved west to California. That's where you migrated to. Like I've told people many times, Washington, Oregon, and California especially didn't get as crowded as they are because they just multiplied. No, people from Indiana, people from Mississippi, they all came to California looking for work in different times. When the economy turned, they always head west. Well, you could always make money in California, so California continued to grow. So now California is a little overblown. It's too expensive. It's not that golden place everyone, dreamt about. So now they're heading other places. And it's like migration patterns, like the buffalo. They just go wherever they could survive. And it goes through generations. So I think right now, there's a lot of southern cities that are going to blow up. Maybe even the Midwestern cities, but I think the southern cities are going to blow up more than the Midwestern ones. So I would look at places like Huntsville, Alabama, even the Bentonville area of Arkansas. That one's picking up steam. There's a lot of good places in Alabama and Georgia that'll blow up. I mean, past Atlanta. So that's what I'd be looking for. In the South, there are a few of those cities are going to blow up big time. Atlanta is not going to be the biggest city anymore in the South. There's going to be another one's going to blow up pretty good pretty soon. All right, here's another trivia question. You can always catch a baseball game on 4th of July. Did you know that? All Major League Baseball teams play on the 4th of July today. You can go watch a game. There's something on today if you want. So you could always spend 4th of July at a Major League ballpark somewhere. Oh, that was interesting. I know I had another one here that I really liked. Now, these ones aren't questions. I'm going to give you Just some interesting facts I learned about 4th of July. Americans spend close to $10 billion on 4th of July food every single year. Now, here's the oldest continually running 4th of July parade is in Bristol, Rhode Island. It dates back to 1785, according to the town's website. That's pretty interesting. Now, here's another about parades. The longest 4th of July parade is in Alameda, California. According to the town's website, the route is 3.3 miles. It takes folks about 2 hours to complete it. So the people in the parade, that's about a 2-hour drive or walk. Here's another interesting one. Independence Day should have been celebrated on July 2nd, 1776. Although the document was dated July 4th, Congress actually voted for Independence Day from Great Britain on July 2nd, 1776. It apparently wasn't signed by every member until a month later, in August of 1776. So they didn't, they all weren't there. They had to send it to the different places to sign it. Missing a lot of the chat, guys, by reading these things. Pretty interesting, though. Stick in California. Bell, what kind? I think you told me before. What city are you in Southern California? Ontario, that's right. Did someone talk smack to my friend Bell? There we go. Here's a good one. Briggs, what are your thoughts on Gatlinburg, Tennessee area? It's a fun place to be. They go heavy on the go-karts around there, but it's a fun area of the country. Alexandra Warner, how are you? Haven't seen you in a while. I think you were on just the other day. But thank you for supporting the channel. Hey, Briggs, hope you're doing well. Let me get rid of this so I can read it. I hope you're doing well. Could you do a video on the best states in Mexico to live in? Happy 4th. We should do another one on Mexico soon. It's been a while. We mostly focus on the cities, but maybe states could be something good to look at. Probably because so many people are being sent back, or they're not coming, or a lot of Americans, even more the last year or two, are moving down to Mexico. So it might be a good video. I'll keep that in mind. Thanks for supporting the channel. Thanks for the idea. Yeah, Gatlinburg's pretty fun. Spam. If you're from Hawaii, it's mandatory you love spam. California 6 years. Jonathan, thank you for supporting the channel with 20 bucks. Gotta roll out of here. Enjoy your content. Never miss a video. Well, thanks. That's not even Jonathan. I thought it was Jonathan. John FBM. I guess your name would be Jonathan, though. Thank you for supporting the channel. I appreciate it. You enjoy the rest of your 4th of July. Dodgers playing. Yep, they beat I think they swept the White Sox the other day, unless there's another game today. Denzel, you out of here? I'm going to go now. My dad. Oh, there we go. Yes, at the same time, Pearl Harbor was attacked. The Japanese were attacking Guam. Not a lot of people know that. Crazy. Kraka 831, nice name. Would you make a updated video of the best cities or states for a recession? The rest of that's actually something we should look at again. I know we did one year and it did really, really well. And then I did again another year and it kind of blew. The subject was good, but I think the thumbnail was bad. And I think I've tried about 4 different thumbnails, just couldn't capture the magic. But thanks for supporting the channel. I really appreciate it. They did sweep the White Sox. Yeah, thought so. I got friends that are hardcore Dodger fans. They watch like every game every year. They moved to Vegas. They used to go to the games too all the time, but they just recently moved to Vegas, so kind of killed that for them. How about places in South America, cities in Argentina and Chile? Yeah, we sometimes, so I go through these phases, and when some of the things I'm talking about get stale, which they do, if I'm talking about too many retirement things, then I'll switch to another subject, or I'll switch to another kind of theme. And normally when, we kind of burn out on things in the United States, I'll switch to Central, South America, Mexico, things of that nature. Traveler444, thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you. My family and I enjoy your channel. Well, I'm glad I could bring some enjoyment. I really appreciate you supporting the channel. There's a good question. If I had to leave the US, where would I live? Just curious. Well, if I had any place I could go to, it would probably be one of the Scandinavian countries, Norway, or even Switzerland, which isn't a Scandinavian country, but Norway, Sweden, maybe even Finland. Those 3, I'd live in one of those. I might live in Canada. That wouldn't be terrible. I loved Central America when I was down there, but I can't stand the heat anymore. So it would be a colder climate, and it would probably be someplace in Europe. I'd say the Scandinavian countries. So Bend is a really nice place. I'm about to sneeze, sorry. So, sorry. Bend is a really good place right now. It's just terribly expensive. Price just shot up. It was always a nice place for the hippie types, close to Mount Bachelor and the river there. It was great for outdoorsy types. The REI crowd was really enjoying it through the late 90s and through the mid 2010s. In the last 10 years, it was always a little more expensive, but in the last 10 years, it's jumped up pretty high. Yeah, I know. The White Sox, the Pope is a diehard White Sox fan. The new Pope, he's from Chicago, and they still can't get a break. They did get an infusion of, thank you, Bell. They did get an infusion of cash. Recently, they've got a new owner, and it's weird. He's not the new owner. The current owner, this guy bought like a majority, but the current owner's in charge till like 2030 or something. It's weird. I was trying to follow what they were talking about, but... Oh, yeah, that's right. The 2 worst teams are playing tonight, the White Sox and the Rockies. I think I might be able to get a win out of that one. White Sox are doing their West Coast swing. Boom, 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 boom. All right, let me give you another trivia thing. An estimated, now this is pretty interesting. How many people live in the United States now? So we have 340 million people as of 2024, the end of 2024, living in the United States. Okay? 340 million residents. An estimated 2.5 million people lived in the nation in July of 1776. I think we've grown a little bit. Oh, here's another interesting one. 4th of July or Independence Day was celebrated on July 5th once. Yeah. Holiday fell on a Sunday in 1779, which back in the day, if it was Sunday, everything was shut down. You didn't do anything but go to church and spend time with the family. So the country celebrated it on the next day, July 5th, 1779. Sorry. I think that was the only time. So, Brett, that's with undocumented. They count everyone. They have estimates, so they're not getting every single person, but they have pretty accurate estimates of the people that are undocumented living in the country. They don't just go by people that are, here legally. They figure it all out. Medford's okay. I mean, I haven't really spent enough time down there to make any claims. I do know some people that live there. They seem to love it. The girl I went to high school with, she moved there probably 20 years ago. She loves it down there. Girl, 55-year-old woman, so you get what I'm saying. Oh my God. So I just got an interesting email. I've been trying to leave things this whole time. I've been trying to leave comments in your chat, but none of them are showing up. What gives? So I clicked on his name and you could see their last chats, right? Or their last comments. And it was all racial slurs and stuff like that. And I probably blocked him. The last time he left a comment was in March. So I just texted him or just emailed back and I said, I see your old comments. You were doing nothing but racist stuff. So I was telling the truth. Okay, dude. Yeah, they call it a lot of things down there. Aussie Fly Girl, thank you for watching the channel. Appreciate your eyes. Thank you very much. Happy 4th. I always call it Aussie Fly Girl, but it's Oz Fly Girl. Forester based in Southern Cascades. I would not mind being a forester myself. Clean chat, yeah, is a happy chat. That's the truth. If you want to talk smack and be a racist, there's other places you can do it, not on YouTube. And that's what's really funny. A lot of these people get mad. Oh, you're blocking people and they say stuff. Yeah, I can. And if you just want to be negative, I'm not dealing with it. It's weird. They think it's like they have some right and I'm doing something evil. And then they always try and portray it. You just didn't like what I had to say. Yeah, you're a racist. I didn't like what you had to say. But then they try and make it sound like they were just criticizing me or something like that. I'm like, no, you weren't. I see your comments. They try and make it sound like I'm censoring them because of political. No. Another thing I love about trolls on the internet or on YouTube, the chat thing, they start off with something really mean, and then they tell me why my videos suck, right? And then I always match people's temperature. You know, if you're going to insult me and say something, you're getting an insult back. I'm not that dude that does customer service here on my channel. I know a lot of people are all, oh, I'm sorry you feel that way. And they just give you some generic HR thing. No, I'm going to give you what you gave back to me. And then they get all offended. Oh, you can't. It looks like I touched a nerve. I always tell them, yeah, stupidity always touches a nerve with me. I'm sorry. Oh, now you're throwing insults? Well, you started this whole thing with an insult. What are you talking about? Yeah, that's about the truth. I appreciate you supporting the channel, but yeah, that's I don't know. Some people are just people crack me up. They, you know, I don't know. The fact that you think you're a better person than someone other race, just mind blowing. And I don't get the people that think they're better than women either, or women that think they're better than men. I'm sure you got all kinds of errors. You know, it's nobody's perfect. No race is perfect. Fire lookout. That would be in one of those things. Oh, I always thought that would be so cool. All right, what time we got? 3:44. All right, guys, I'm going to knock this off because I got to do some 4th of July stuff with the family. As always, it is great to have you here. It's great we could spend some time together. I keep wanting to get more weekly-ish on the live streams. Maybe it'll be happening soon. I don't know. But it's one of those things YouTube's pushing, so I don't mind the chat, so I figure I should probably put a little more effort into it. Oh, yeah, Angie, I bet, on the European Sports Channel. Yeah. All right, Angie Mad Cat and everyone else, I really appreciate being here. Belle, Alexander, Denzel, all you guys, I really appreciate your time and effort and hanging out with me. Oz Fly Girl, I will see you in the next live stream. Got a pretty good video coming up tomorrow or Sunday. I'm editing it myself because I gave my editor the week off. So it'll be up tomorrow or Saturday. It's about the most dangerous small towns, which is always a fun subject. And then I got another interesting one coming up next week too. I'm not sure what day. All right, everyone. Happy 4th of July. Be safe. Don't get too... Oh, sorry. One other thing. I hope everyone's still here. One other fact I thought was funny. Where is it? Oh, safe and sane 4th of July movement came about in the late 19th century, early 20th century. It was in response to heavy drinking and injuries that had risen along with the holiday traditions. Safe and sane's been around that long. I remember the fireworks being like that. But okay, that's it, everyone. I'll see you next time we decide to do this. Enjoy your 4th of July.